What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here with some Pirate Rumble action. And it's actually been a long time since I've uploaded a Pirate Rumble video to the YouTube channel, but today's a very special one because we're going to be utilizing the brand new meta shift that's going to be slowly creeping its way into global, and that is going to be the shift into quick and driven based teams. Now, for this team in particular, it's probably not the most efficient nor the most optimal team currently on global for quick and driven, but we're going to see how it performs either way. Now, the main candidate as to why this team is going to be performing really well currently is because of this guy right here, V2 Kaido making his debut. He's a really awesome character, so let's just quickly go through him before we get into this video today. His special ability, 26 countdown timer, will target enemies in a large range for level 3 defense down, and then hits them for 2 times his attacker's damage, and it also targets all enemies for a 50% chance of paralysis for 20 seconds. Very powerful special. Love that he lowers defense and then inflicts damage to him. That's very nice to have. And then his passive is also just amazing for his team. Quick characters on your team get level 5 health, level 3 defense, and for the first 40 seconds he gives himself level 10 attack and level 10 speed. So I like the fact that he is very self-sufficient. For those first 40 seconds he hits like an absolute truck, but you know, after those first 40 seconds he loses that attack and speed, which definitely makes him a little bit less viable. But still, the fact that when he launches his special he's able to reduce the enemy's stats and then hit them is a huge benefit to your team. The other character that's also really nice for this team is the brand new treasure map Queen. This guy has a really great passive that will give your quick characters level 5 health, level 2 defense, so very similar to V2 Kaido actually, just nice defensive stats for your quick team. And then also has a pretty decent special on a 27 CT that gives himself an attack and defense buff, and then hits enemies in a medium horizontal range for 1.7 times his attack. So that's great, you know, buffing himself and then doing the damage, which is really cool. And we're just surrounding them with some other decent quick units. I've got Tesoro on the team because I want to make sure I get my CT down as quick as possible, and we also have Ivankov and Bellamy to debuff the enemies. Bellamy's great with a low CT, giving health cuts, defense down, Ivankov's for attack down, and then eventually when those guys die they'll be replaced with our back row. We've got Kuzan to come in, we've got the brand new Pirate Rumble free-to-play Lucy, who's actually a pretty good unit for your quick teams at the moment on global, and then also of course the Pirate Rumble Whitebeard in our very last position to save us once we get towards the end of the match. So let's go ahead and find a match and see how this team performs. Alright, so let's see how we perform against the Roger and Oden team. This is going to be very interesting to see how we perform. Now, obviously, Roger Oden is probably the most scary team to deal with on global currently, even as a defense or an offensive-based team. They're good in all facets, pretty much. The only downside that they have is they're not very good defensively, which is where Dofi kind of comes in. There's no Shanks crew on this team either, so, you know, I'm not really expecting it to be too difficult, but the thing is Roger and Oden are able to output a lot of damage, so we're really hoping that Ivankov and Bellamy can debuff them enough so that when we do come in with our attacks, we are able to go ahead and do a lot of damage back to them. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and hopefully we get a really good result. But even if we don't, it's going to be interesting to see how this team performs. Now, prior to this video, I actually had Stussy on the team instead of Kuzan, and then Stussy was one of the starter units for my team. So that's what I was doing previously, and that might still be a really good way to go, because Stussy for the first 30 seconds gives our team, I think it's like HP, attack, and speed, which actually might be kind of useful. But, you know, Bellamy's already ready to go, Ivankov's already ready to go. Unfortunately, we do get the Kizaru to attack, but we do have really good defensive stats right now, which is very useful. Tesoro almost ready to go, which is good, but we are going to get Bellamy here, which does do a health cut and also reduces their defense, so that's going to be really nice. And we get Ivankov to launch as well before they get their specials off, so that's going to reduce their attack just a little amount, so we don't take too much damage from them. We got the what's his name, Dog Storm did a little bit of damage to Kaido there, which is never fun. Dofi typically does a lot of damage, but we take that reasonably well. I'm not really a big fan of Kaido being hit so much, and this is actually going to hurt a lot as well. And then Bellamy's already going to be taken down. So here we come with Kuzan's going to be coming in just a moment here. The Roger came in and debuffed us a lot, which is, I really hate dealing with Roger. You can see the stats there for Tesoro already looking kind of grim, honestly. We got Queen coming in, does attack Roger and Oden, doesn't do too much damage to them, but hopefully we can get some specials launched right now. We get Tesoro to come in, who buffs our defense, which is going to be kind of nice, but we really want Kaido to come in, and unfortunately he's really struggling to get his special to launch, but he is able to launch now. How much damage does he do? Defense down. He does a decent amount to them. Did he actually inflict any of them with paralysis? Okay, Inu was hit with paralysis. We get Ivankov to come in once again, so hopefully hits a lot of them. A little bit of attack down is actually pretty nice. That's probably what saved us a little bit with some of our characters. You can see Kaido's nearly dead. We do get Kuzan to come in, though. That did a lot of damage. Unfortunately, I think Roger kind of resists the special bind. Yeah, he does. So that's obviously annoying, but, oh, this is going to hurt. Okay, but for some reason, Kaido is still alive. I don't think he's going to be able to launch his special when he comes back, but we'll see. Lucy actually has a really good special. He will do a lot of damage once he does get a chance to go. We got Queen already coming back with another special, and there we go, GG. Queen does so much damage because every time he goes to launch, he buffs his own attack and defense, so it means that his own special will do a lot of damage. Queen and Kaido together are such an amazing combination for this team, and yeah, we lost the 2 units that we wanted to lose. You know, Bellamy and Ivankov, we wanted them to come in at the start, debuff the enemies just a little bit. Once they leave the field, we get some of our other harder hitters, Kuzan, Lucy, and Whitebeard sitting on the bench. Once they come in, we get all of our passives still active, and it's going to do a lot of damage towards the enemy. So a pretty impressive showing, honestly, against one of the more higher echelon teams that you'll be expecting to see in Pirate Rumble. This is also going to be a very interesting team to see how this one goes up against. Now, the thing about the Int team is that they are very defensively based as well. So we got the Quick team right now, which is also very defensively based. So I don't really know how we are going to be performing here. Obviously, the big scary characters on the enemy side of the field is going to be the Dofi and the NL. Once the Dofi and the NL are taken away, it's going to make clearing the enemy much easier because obviously the other characters on their team don't have too many effects going on in terms of boosting defense or boosting HP. So we want to make sure we can take them down as quick as possible, and we definitely want our Bellamy to be coming in clutch here to not only health cut but also reducing their really annoying defensive stat. So Bellamy is already ready to go, so he's going to be able to launch very quickly there in the first 15 seconds of the match, and pretty good defense down on Dofi and also Katakuri. However, when Dofi does get ready to launch his special, they will actually go ahead and buff the enemy defense again. Blackbeard doesn't really do much to us right now because we already have a lot of health and defense still, so that's really not a big issue right now. Queen will be able to launch here. We got Kaido already launching, lowering their defense, which is huge. That was so much damage against them, and now Queen's going to buff himself and do a lot of damage towards the enemy as well. This should probably get a KO or 2. It does KO the Katakuri. That is absolutely massive, and we reduce the enemy's attack with Ivankov as well. This is great. We pretty much already win at this point. This is so good. Okay, I don't care what the enemy does at this point. Like, we just win. Like, we cannot lose from this point. Surely not. And Nell's going to come into a bit of damage. Does buff their defense again. What is their defensive stat right now? Okay, they're looking pretty similar to us right now in terms of defense. They do have a lot of attack still going on, but I just believe in the abilities of what our team actually has. I actually don't know what Pudding does. Okay, attack and speed buff to herself. Okay, nothing too crazy. Dofi is still a little bit of a pain to deal with, but you can see we're just tanking all their hits, no problem. That's not going to be an issue. Unfortunately, my Tezora special is not completely maxed. It would have been nice because we probably would have KO'd Enel there, but either way, it's not really a big deal at this point. Blackbeard's probably going to launch again. Yeah, he does. And what does he do this time? See, again, we're just tanking the hits, and I'm actually really surprised we haven't been KO'd by anything yet, but they just don't have the firepower to take us on. We got Kaido coming in, destroying the enemy side of the field, and, you know, they got paralysis going on. They can't do their normal attacks. They're going to get a lot of damage from Queen. He's going to get another KO. He does get another KO. We get another debuff against Dofi. I mean, you know, this is taking a long time to kill, you know, compared to, like, if you're very, very used to using the slasher team, you know, you're really used to, you know, clearing the enemy within the first 50 seconds of a match. But having this team, which does take a little bit more time to get the kill, but, you know, it's much more safer. You know, you have the defensive stats to back you up, and you've got those huge debuffing and then buffing to yourself specials, as well as dealing damage to the enemy. So valuable for helping you get that win. Alright, so let's try this out once again. Now, we did get a pretty good result at the first match of this video, but I wonder if we can do it again. Can we take on Roger and Oden again? Now, the enemy does have the Kalgara and Noland at the back, which can be a little bit frightening when they come in because they are very self-sufficient, very similar to Kaido in a way where, like, their passive and their special are really focused on just buffing themselves, and they target, like, one enemy. They do a lot of damage. So I really wonder if we can come through with the W again. Now, this time, there is a Dogstorm on the team, but it is not Legend Dogstorm. It's actually just the Rare Recruit one. Now, I actually don't remember off the top of my head what this Rare Recruit Dogstorm actually does, so I'm a little bit cautious as to what he's going to be doing here. Kizaru already getting the first special off, which isn't really a surprise here. I really need Bellamy to come in, but okay, here he goes. Okay, we got Kaido already. That was really fast. Wow, that was exceptionally fast. I wasn't really expecting that. Dofi is paralyzed and so is Dogstorm, but we do get debuffed from Roger. So you can see that Tazora already has a lot of those blue debuffs on our side of the field, which is not fun to deal with. Queen is also dealing with a couple of debuffs, so we're actually really looking at kind of a grim position right now, just taking a bunch of damage from the enemy. Bellamy is about to die, which is kind of unfortunate, so we will get Kuzan to come in, and Gil Tazora really doesn't do too much damage to the enemy. We are going to take a lot of damage here. Oof, okay, that wasn't as bad as what I was expecting, so that's still good. We can just reduce the enemy's attack right here. That's very, very valuable to have. Is Roger about to launch his special again? He better not. Okay, he's not ready yet, but Dofi's going to do a lot. That actually hurts, but we have Kuzan in now, so I really hope that Kuzan's able to launch his special. That's going to be valuable to have. Unfortunately, we just clocked below the 40-second timer now, so 40 seconds have already passed, so we lose a bit of debuffs, or a bit of buffs from the Kuzan passive, unfortunately. Ivankov can launch again to reduce their stats once again, which is great to see. So their stats are really low in terms of their attack, so when they do damage to us, it's not going to be as harsh now. Unfortunately, this guy will still hit really hard. Okay, so Kaido is about dead. I would love to see him come back, but I think we're about to die. Kaido's still up. Surprisingly, if Kaido is able to launch again, that would be so awesome. We do get the special bind on Kalgara and Nolan, which is ridiculous. No, we're dead with Kaido. Dang, that would have been so useful. He was so close to being able to be launched. Oh my god, that would have been ridiculous. Okay, so we do get still a little bit of defense. So Queen surprisingly still staying up, but Lucy coming in, giving us a bit of boost from his passive. So I love that. Oh, we get this to come in now. Oh, nice, dude. Lucy doing 2 times his attack to the enemies is so good. We're going to tank that Dofi, no problems at all. But once someone dies, we get Whitebeard to come in, which is going to be good. Another debuff to the enemy side of the field. This is another win. Like, we just win from here at this point. Like, I can't believe it. Dude, this is pretty surprising. You know, Kaido, Queen, Lucy, you know, Bellamy and Ivankov to kind of pad against the enemy is really impressive. So this is just a small taste of what we have to expect moving forward into the future, and this isn't even quick at their full power yet. We still need to get access to characters like Versus Akainu, who makes this team even more broken than what it currently is at the moment. I mean, we're still looking forward for like Magellan, for example. He's a fantastic unit for the quick team, and eventually the 7th anniversary super type Luffy, who's another amazing addition to this team. So this team is going to continuously get better and better over time, and honestly, I'm quite shocked that it was able to take down those 2 slasher teams as effective as what it did. We didn't even get Whitebeard on the bench to come in yet either, so that would have also improved our chances of doing more damage towards the enemy. So honestly, I'm super pumped about this team and cannot wait for future releases to make this team even better. So that is going to end this video today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.